Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's been a good long time here. It's November 27th. It's not November.
What the fuck?
It's March.
I was afraid I was having a stroke.
Oh my God.
November?
It's March. I don't know why I confused March and November. But I feel like March and November would be friends though, if they were, people. It's March 27th, 2001. Jesus. And we've been busy. Obviously, we haven't talked to you in a long time. It's been a while. We've been downloading files from Napster,
right?
Trying to outpace Metallica and Dr. Dre before they shut it down. We've been going to hotornot.com and ratemyface.com.
What is your face's rating?
We've been signing guest books. Oh, you rate my face. I'm a solid 8.6.
I think you're at 10, baby.
We've been listening to Destiny's Child. We've been saying it wasn't me. It was me. Mm-hmm. We've been playing The Sims.
Well, yeah, always. I like to, burn the house down.
Yeah, well, we've been doing a lot of stuff.
You know what we haven't been doing?
Recording this show.
Well, and we haven't been watching fucking Buffy or Dawson because they haven't been releasing episodes this month.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why we've been so quiet, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we've also been busy.
But, speaking of quietness, speaking of contemplation, speaking of creative filmmaking, we watched Momento.
Yes, we watched Momento.
Not only a fantastic cereal, brother product of Cheerios, Momentos, but also a creative and innovative film by second-time filmmaker Christopher Nolan.
I don't know. I was thinking about Mentos.
Oh, Mentos?
The fresh maker.
Fresh goes better, Mentos. Could you imagine if the Mentos commercial broke out in the middle of this movie?
that would be kind of fucked.
There were some humorous parts in the movie, for sure.
Really?
I think so.
What did you find humorous about this movie?
I mean, so do we want to... I guess just spoilers,
yeah,
everyone.
Obviously.
If you haven't seen Memento, go see it.
So... Yeah, I don't remember laughing.
It's good.
It's very good. It's a very good movie.
That's our non-spoiler review is that it's very good and it's innovative filmmaking at its best.
Yeah, it kind of I don't know, it's kind of like Pulp Fiction-y in some ways.
It's very neo-noir. It reminded me a little bit of a movie that we didn't review on the show. Called L.A. Confidential.
Yeah.
It's very neo-noir-ish. Not quite like a throwback to the 30s like that was, but same kind of vibe.
I guess I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about it? Why are you laughing?
I don't know. It's very funny. It's an open-ended question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the question I was asking that you never answered. What did you find funny about this movie?
So I think it's funny when he's... in case you are lunatics and you haven't seen the movie, the whole premise of the movie is that this dude has antegrade amnesia, which basically means... Which is different, the opposite of retrograde amnesia, which is where you can't remember things that already happened. He can't remember things that haven't happened yet. No, he can't remember... things that have just happened, essentially.
He has no short-term memory.
Yeah, you can't make short-term... He can't convert short-term memory into long-term memory because of a brain injury.
It's not very clear how long his memory before it resets. Like,
it's a little inconsistent, I think, in the movie.
Yeah, because I mean, it almost kind of seemed like at times that it was like the whole day.
Well,
and then
I never got that. I never got that impression.
And then he would like fall asleep and wake up.
There were times when I felt like, and maybe he was forgetting stuff, like kind of like, I know what you're talking about, the one long scene with Natalie and stuff. Because most of the scenes are fairly short, but I do think that it's somewhat inconsistent. There are times where it seems like, okay, his memory goes like 10 minutes or something like that, or you know, like somewhere in that neighborhood. And then there are other scenes where it's like, oh, his memory resets after like 3 minutes. Like, so yeah, it was a little inconsistent with the time, I think.
Oh, I just remembered a funny thing.
Yeah. Okay. Oftentimes when we do this show, it seems like you have antiquated.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just because I was thinking about when he's driving and he's like, oh, you know, what's going on? And he pulls over and the guy's like, because the guy was following him and the guy like, you know, shoots at him. He's like, oh shit, and starts driving. Yeah. That was funny. And then they get out of the car and they're running. And then he's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm chasing this guy. And then the guy shoots him. He's like, oh no, he's chasing me. Like, that was funny.
The movie from Dodd's perspective is a comedy. Because, like, spoilers, obviously. He's killed an associate of Dodd's and taken his car and his clothes and has his drug money in the back of the car. So he starts chasing this guy, flashing his lights and everything, trying to get him to pull over. Like you said, he pulls over and he's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? And then he pulls a gun out. He doesn't even say anything. He just starts driving away. And the like quick turn of like emotion and what's going on is what makes that scene so funny. And then, yeah, right after that. So from Dodd's perspective, the guy's like, what the fuck? You shoots at him. He starts running away. You're chasing after him with a gun. Then he starts running at you. And then he turns and runs away.
When you shoot.
Yeah. Evades you. So you go back to your hotel room where he's in your shower and then beats the shit out of you, ties you up, puts duct tape over your mouth, and then a few minutes later opens the closet where he stuffed you, takes the duct tape off your mouth and says, who did this to you? And you have to say, you did. And then he puts the duct tape back in your mouth. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Dodd must have been so confused.
I don't understand how this guy accomplishes anything.
Yeah.
But he does.
Well, you know what's funny to me is the first thing I thought of when the movie was over is I was like, so the movie takes place backward, which is the big innovative thing about it. We start at the last scene of the film and then we go we go back in time until the first scene of the film, which is a great way to keep us in the dark. Like if we viewed this movie from front to, back in the normal flow of time, it's probably still a good movie. And like there's still some reveals that happen, but doing it this way, it really kind of puts us in his shoes. The only exception is there's an interstitial or whatever. There's a part that it keeps cutting back to of him in his hotel room where time is going forward and eventually like those two timelines cross. Mm-hmm. But all that stuff's in black and white. So it's a really innovative, filmmaking and everything. But the first thing I thought of when the movie is over is, so again, spoilers, he kills the dude that's helping him.
Yeah.
The cop. Like, he sets up this whole thing where it's like, and actually, if we had seen that first scene, it'd be like, oh, like that would ruin everything.
Yeah, the whole movie would not be as entertaining if you knew what was going on the whole time.
But he basically sets up the puzzle himself because he doesn't like what the guy is saying to him. And Joey Pants from The Matrix, or The Matrix, And so he ends up killing him at the end of the movie. And my first thought was, what happens to him now? He's murdered a drug dealer that's, connected with like the underbelly of this city. He's driving his car, wearing his clothes. He has no memory of what he did or what's happening. He's, I'm sure, in big danger. And he has no one to help him. So, he just dies, right?
I mean, the other guy was only kind of helping him, though. I mean, he was really just using him.
Yeah, he was definitely using him. That's one of the funny parts, too, where he's like, were you doing a drug deal here? And he's like, no. And he's like, he shows him all the money in the car. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and your thing. Which his thing is killing the guy to give revenge.
Right.
It's like, it's so funny. But, yeah, he is definitely using him. There are no sympathetic characters in the entire movie, which I think is interesting.
His wife.
No, because his wife, again, spoilers, his wife fucking tricked him into killing her.
Oh, yeah.
As we find out later, that she needed insulin or whatever and kept saying, oh, it's time for my shot, because she didn't fully believe him that he had this thing. And she
wanted to see if he'd kill her.
And maybe maybe she was being mean to him, like the other wife was supposedly mean to Sammy Jenkins, the guy that existed but really didn't exist, who wasn't married and was lying. And I think it's very interesting too how they weave all that in there, because they give us showing him and showing them. It's a really well written story. The narrative is very tight, because the talking about Sammy Jenkins gives us it serves the purpose of connecting him to his old life as an insurance investigator and someone who might actually be able to do some investigating, because that's what he did as his job. It also serves to show us this other type of memory that he's talking about, instinctual memory, where if you see something over and over again, even if you can't consciously remember it, your body will remember it, basically.
Like muscle memory.
Exactly. And so it serves those purposes, but then it also, in a twist, serves the purpose of making us connect and realize that's what he's doing to himself by constantly talking about Sammy Jenkins. Because as we learn later in the movie, the stuff he's saying about Sammy is his life. Because his wife survived the attack, she didn't die. She ended up dying from insulin overdose, because she was essentially suicide, because she made him do that. And this Sammy Jenkins stuff started before he even had this. So he should be able to remember that. Yeah. Because it happened before the accident. But he's building this narrative for himself. He's making himself believe this because he doesn't want to feel responsible for his wife's death and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable why he's rewriting the narrative, because the narrative fucking sucks. Yeah. I mean, his wife got attacked while he was asleep.
And raped.
Yeah. And he goes to try to help her and gets knocked out, and then has this memory problem, and then she makes him kill her. Yeah. I mean, she must have been pretty fucking miserable.
Well, I guess we don't know, but I'm assuming that most of what he says about the Sammy Jenkins stuff really applies to him, especially because there's a point, both you and I noticed it, but I think a lot of people in the audience didn't, where you see Sammy in this institution or whatever, right? And somebody walks by, and for a split second, it's Guy Pearce. Or not Guy. That's his name, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
I'm not good with the names.
But it's the guy in the movie. It's him, and but it's just one frame long. But I was like, oh, ooh, interesting.
Now I gotta say something. This movie reminded me of Fight Club in that way.
Yes.
Especially because the actor looks a lot like Brad Pitt. And
he does, yeah.
Him and Brad Pitt were both insurance investigators.
That is true. No, yeah. I mean, Brad Pitt / Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Edward Norton's the real guy.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, they were both insurance investigators. That's interesting. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
And the picture of him at the end. What's wrong?
Nothing.
What got unplugged?
Nothing. Just the computer.
The picture at the end, though, that like the cop who's been working with him or whatever shows him
Joey Pantaleone.
Yeah, of the first time that he actually killed the guy who raped his wife. Mm-hmm. How super happy he looks.
Yeah,
he didn't look that happy when he killed people this time that we saw.
Yeah, you wonder if does he know on some level. Yeah,
and then B, he looks so much younger.
Yeah,
I don't know if they did that on purpose, if it's just because he's happy that he looks younger, but I feel like it must have been a long time that he's been doing this.
Yeah, well, they don't specifically say, but it appears that it's been at least a couple years.
And that's crazy. Like, his whole life is just revenge, 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 and he can't remember more than like a few minutes, an hour, whatever.
Joe Pantaleone says, or whatever, John Edward Gamble, Teddy, whatever we want to call him. He says that Teddy, is the one that has to live with what he's done, and that Guy Pearce gets to be like he gets to play detective and like, all this stuff and everything. I disagree. I do agree that like, because he doesn't remember the stuff, he doesn't necessarily have to live with the consequences of what he's done and everything. But, I don't feel like his existence is great.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, no, there's no way his existence would ever be great.
Yeah.
Because he resets at the last thing he remembers, which is his wife being raped.
Yeah, his wife, like finding his wife raped with a bag over her head, like almost dying, actually thinking that she died. Because he got hit in the head, so he might not even remember she survived.
Yeah, that's true.
He might have just thought, like, oh my God, she's dead, because he's laying on the ground there and doesn't see her breathing or whatever.
So when he tattoos on his chest, he raped and murdered my wife, do you think he believes that? Yeah. Because I thought that was him changing the narrative, because he murdered his wife.
I think he believes it. I do think he believes it. I don't think he has a memory of well, actually, he must kind of have a memory of that, though. Because Sammy Jenkins didn't do that.
Right.
He did that. Mm-hmm. So he has to have some kind of memory of it. Which is weird. Is that a plot hole?
Ooh, I have a question, and I wish somebody could answer it, because I don't think you can. Maybe, hey, is there any neurologists out there?
We have to call Christopher Nolan.
But
and Jonathan Nolan.
So, like, he has no short-term memory. But eventually, don't his memories become long-term memory?
No, because the reason he can't make short-term memory is because his memory can't convert from short-term to long-term. There's a process. There's a process that your neurons undergo. So, like, your neurons have these little like button. They look kind of like buttons at the end of each one. There's like, so neurons sit like we're super close together like this, and there's these little like button things. They call them data buttons. And then there's the axon, which are little like threads that go on your nerves. They're covered by the myelin sheath. And what that happens is there's like electrical charge that goes from one to the other. It uses mostly sodium and potassium as like like electronic what's the word I'm looking for? Like catalyst, basically.
Okay.
So what happens is when you make short-term memories, basically memory comes in, and there's a part of your brain that is in charge of like short-term memory, just stuff that's happening right now, basically. And you can remember the last like 5 minutes or whatever. But then in order for that stuff to get put into long-term memory, the data buttons have to interact with the axons and like convert that into your part of the brain. Is it? It's the I can't remember if it's the hippocampus or whatever, or the hypothalamus. But it goes to a different part of your brain to become long-term stored memory. His brain can't do that anymore. So there'll never be long-term memories because his brain, the injury that he sustained literally makes it impossible for him to make any more long-term memories. Wow. So everything that happens, he can remember it for a period of time, but at the point where it would start to become long-term memory, it just goes away.
And I just don't know how long time that is. And there's that time when he's trying to remember because Natalie took all his pens. And he's like, just focus. Like, I wonder, does that work? Does focus keep him longer in the, like...
Who knows, maybe.
She distracted him and then it was gone.
It works for me sometimes when I'm doing other things. Like, focus. Last longer.
Yeah, I can see that.
But anyway, so I don't know. And the movie is inconsistent with the length of time. And I don't know a lot about this brain injury or brain stuff in general, but I feel like depending on the severity of the damage, that it's different for different people.
Sure.
Some people might be able to remember a day or like several hours. And some people may only be able to remember a couple minutes. So I feel like it's different for different people, depending on the severity of the injury.
Yeah. But yeah, and you mentioned earlier that the movie going backwards like helps us see it in his perspective. And I love talking about this stuff with you because even though it makes total sense, it had not occurred to me that was part of why they were doing it.
Yeah, I would assume that was the main motivation of it, yeah.
It makes so much sense, though. Most movies wouldn't be cool in backwards snippets.
No.
But this one works.
No, because most movies would then be spoiled if we watch them backwards. This is different because the big like twist thing, the thing that like he sets it in motion himself, that happens at the beginning. And by the nature of time, that has to happen in the beginning. Like he can't set all this mystery in motion so he kills John G or Teddy or whatever at the end. That wouldn't work. It has to happen at the beginning of the movie, so chronologically, for him to get killed at the end. So that's like, that's a big reason why. It's a very creative and innovative way to do it. But yeah, he basically he challenges all these lies he's been telling to himself. He's like, Sammy Jenkins wasn't real. Like, well, he was real, but he was a fake. And you proved he was a fake because he couldn't do this memory stuff, or he pretended he couldn't do this memory stuff that he should have been able to do. And you figured that out. And he didn't have a wife, and you killed your wife with insulin and all this shit that like he doesn't want to remember. So and this is fucked up completely. So in retaliation, he's like, okay, I'll create a puzzle for myself where I kill you, fucker. And he does.
Yeah. And
he doesn't remember doing it.
And like, what's he gonna do now? He literally tattooed the guy's license plate on his arm and stuff. Like, he's gonna keep looking for somebody he already killed.
Exactly, for that guy.
Because there's nobody who's gonna go reset shit for him now.
Right.
He needed that guy.
100%. That's why my first thought was, well, he's fucked now.
Yeah. Because
like that's the real sad part is the end of this movie. What does he do? Because he's done.
Yeah.
He's going to get arrested by the cops. He's going to get, like, killed by the... Could you imagine him in jail, too?
Oh, God.
Like, he's going to get killed by, like, drug people that, realize he killed this dude that he's driving around in his car.
That would be better than being arrested, honestly.
Yeah, for him, yes. But, like, yeah, something horrible's going to happen. He like, there is no Momento 2.
Right.
Like, Momento 2, Electric Boogaloo. This time he's got to save the ski school, but he doesn't remember. But yeah, like that's not going to happen because he's done now. He killed the only thing that was guiding him through life. He killed.
Yeah, awful. Really, like it's surprising. Like I said, it's surprising he can accomplish anything, and that he's not more confused.
Yeah.
He always seemed to kind of be on a mission and know he was on a mission, and I don't really know how.
That's a good point, too. Like, how does he know? That's the thing. Like, I feel like, because we're dealing with an unreliable narrator, and he's narrating the whole thing, I feel like maybe his condition isn't quite as bad as he's letting on that it is. Like, I definitely think he has the antegrade amnesia. I definitely think that... I don't think that the whole movie is like a lie or whatever. But you're right. Like, how would he have memories in order to lie to himself about killing his wife with insulin? And how would he remember that he's on a mission to, because he doesn't come awake, like he doesn't come awake in his hotel room and like, oh my god, where's my wife?
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, what's happening? Like, there's no like super confusion, like what the fuck is going on? Because if there were, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He would spend the next 5 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and then it would reset all over again. So you're right. I think that, and I guess maybe the in-movie explanation for it is that over time he has conditioned himself through that other kind of memory to remember that he's on a mission to kill these people.
I guess.
But yeah, I do feel like maybe his memories went a little bit after the injury, or maybe like I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
There's definitely ways you could pick it apart. It's such a good movie, though it's not really worth like. But I mean, it was one of those movies that if it was a not as well made movie and we were bored with it, then you and I would be like, this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense. Like, we'd rip it apart.
But you don't think about the things that don't make sense when you're watching it.
It's the same problem that I had with The Matrix.
Lots of Matrix actors in this movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Trinity's in this movie. Joey Pants is in this movie. But, it's the problem I had with The Matrix is that the whole thing doesn't make sense. It's almost a world destroying like thing. They're using the computers or the machines are using human beings as batteries, but the cost of energy to keep a person alive would be way more, especially in those pods and stuff, than you would get out of them energy wise. And like I said when we reviewed that movie, I feel like the Wachowskis were like, this is a network of like a neural network of stuff, like a very computer thing. Like it's helping us, like power the stuff we have because they're using us like giant computers, basically, not for energy. That makes so much more sense, but I feel like the producers were like, no one's going to understand that. But so I loved it. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it just great pacing, like interesting the whole time, and you really are invested in the character.
Yeah, I can't, like, I don't really have any, I wouldn't say it's necessarily perfect. Like we talked about a couple.
We talked about it enough to find it not perfect.
Yeah, we talked about a couple things plot wise that probably don't make a ton of sense. But like if you break it down from a filmmaking perspective, the way the plot the structure of the plot, the pacing, the length, all that stuff is great. Mm-hmm. And like I said, incredibly creative to do it the way they did it. So I mean, obviously A+ for that. Cinematography was great. Maybe the music, I guess. So like if we were breaking down like all the different like acting, directing, like lighting, all the different like elements of a film, and we were going to criticize any one of them, maybe the music is the weakest link.
Maybe. I mean, I didn't really notice it, so.
Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah. But also, like, I don't know, I'd have to go back and listen, I guess, but this isn't necessarily a movie where it's like you want a very, like, memorable soundtrack.
Right. Yeah, because it could be distracting.
Yeah, you want
everything that's going on.
Yeah, you want the plot to kind of carry things along. Maybe if it had been a little more neo-noir inspired music, maybe. I don't know. But this is me grasping at straws, trying to find a flaw with the movie. It's a very, very good film.
Yeah. Definitely worth it.
Yeah, I would go ahead and check it out. It came out a couple weeks ago. We just saw it now, but fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, enjoy.
But that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can find their own electrified metal shapes.
Okay, you can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com and share the tapes with your friends.
Oh, well, real quick, I kept expecting... What the fuck is going on? It sounds like screaming outside.
It's sirens.
I know, but I kept expecting Steven Tobolowsky to like anytime he looked up to be like what the fuck, Bill? What's Bill Murray's character in Groundhog Day?
I don't know.
Where
You
he's
keep
like,
asking me about names. Like,
Phil?
no, I'm not your person for names.
Phil Connors, Ned Ryerson. He was Ned Ryerson in Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Anyway, that is the show. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.